Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Poulan 2000 top handle chainsaw. Customer complaint is that it's just not running right. Looking in the fuel tank, it's got gas in it. Let's try and start it. Nothing. Alright, so he did tell me that someone else worked on it and it's just not running right. I want to kind of sniff around here and see if I can tell what that other person may have done instead of just going through my normal routine. So right away I noticed that there's no fuel line on here, but I also noticed that there's no air filter. So what does that mean? Did the other guy that worked on it not put an air filter back in it? Forget to put a filter in? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Things seem to be functioning properly as far as the trigger and the choke look like it was right. The lever on top of that air filter cover would hold that or move that choke. And that was lined up properly. So I guess the first thing I want to do is look inside that cylinder and make sure that it's not scored. For this heat shield, the two screws here, once those are out, this thing should pop out of here, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. There's these two screws that hook onto the side of the case and they got hung up. Anyway, we're going to take the muffler off. There's a bolt with an 8mm head. We'll spin that out of here. And then the outer half of this muffler's got to come off first. And it doesn't want to pop off of there. It's been on there a long time. And it's going to need a little persuasion. That is an awfully expensive hammer. Probably shouldn't be using that for hitting stuff. But I tend to use whatever's laying in front of me when I'm fixing something. The tool I need isn't in front of me. I walk over to the box and bring another tool and leave it on the bench. By the time the repair's over, there could be a lot of tools laying around. So we're going to put a needle nose in a couple of these holes and then just tap on it and hopefully it'll split apart. There it goes. A lot of layers inside these old school mufflers. Here's our spark arrestor screen. Kind of nice because you can open it up, clean it, inspect it. You know, if something's broken or rattling loose, you can fix or replace it. So looking into the cylinder on the exhaust side of the piston skirt, it's got some wear. It's not scored, but it's not perfect. It's good enough that I'm going to move forward with this repair. You can see to the left of the muffler is the spark plug boot. It may not have been a bad idea to actually look at the spark plug, but I never did. If I overlooked it, I was thinking about something else. Never looked at the spark plug. And we pulled on it 7 or 8 times and it never popped, so certainly we could have an ignition problem. Seeing that new fuel line on there though, that kind of makes me want to go down that path and look into the fuel system first. Still nothing. So maybe it's just not pulling fuel. I mean that fuel line is the kind you can see through. I always get sidetracked. So we're going to dump some fuel in here and see if we can get it to run and maybe pull some fuel through that line because it looks empty. it seems like it's off. Maybe it's because it's low on fuel. We'll get some more fuel in here and try it again. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's responding right. That new fuel line on there all he did, or was the guy inside the carburetor? We'll try it again. So there you go. It runs. Does it run good? I mean, would you send it? I think a lot of people would. And unfortunately, they'd find that it could run a lot better. Now, I mean, to me, the thing just wasn't responding properly. I was going back and forth between riching it up and then increasing the idle speed, and then leaning it out and dropping the idle speed. But check this out. Here's your metering diaphragm. You see the problem? I mean, the thing's upside down. Now, it'll still work that way, but your metering lever height is going to be all wacky because the dimple isn't pushing on the metering lever. At least not at the right height. I think the result would be that you would be starving for fuel in the metering chamber. And maybe that is enough to explain why I was kind of going back and forth trying to find the sweet spot. You know, in the end there, as it warmed up, it ran better. And I honestly believe a lot of guys would have sent it that way, but just because it runs doesn't mean it's running good. So on this side, we have the fuel pump, right? We also have the micro screen right there. When I pull the micro screen out, there's some, let's call it sediment. Little mud puddle of dirt, debris in there. And that stuff's going to loosen up and work its way through a little bit at a time. Could create some problems. So we'll get that cleaned up out of there. Now this whole carburetor, could it go through the ultrasonic or be torn down and cleaned? But it was running and it was responding to adjustments. And I did find that upside down metering diaphragm. So I'm just going to find myself a new micro screen and put it in there, and then we're going to run this thing again and see what happens. I set the screen on top, and then I'm going to actually use the official tool for pushing it down into place. You certainly don't need that official tool to do this. Here's our fuel pump. And our fuel pump gasket. Where is it? Got to find the right one. So he didn't have anything switched around on this side. That was all assembled properly. So sometimes you got to hold the throttle shaft open enough that your idle stop screw isn't hitting it when you go to put the cover on. Could disturb the gaskets while you're trying to set that cover in place. So there, we got it tightened down with a new kit. We'll put this on there and see what it does. Now there's potentially a lot of other possible problems with this saw. like I said, we didn't even look at the ignition system. There's going to be a reed valve under here. But we were really close, so I'm going to keep moving forward. Now when I took this apart, I took the throttle linkage off the side of the carburetor. There's a multiple, look at it, 1, 2, 3, 5 holes maybe? I don't always look at that when I take it apart, because usually it's the hole with all the wear is the one that you want. Well, actually, it kind of looks like there's 2 holes that got some wear. I don't know what that means. Did he have it put together the wrong way at some point? Is this not the original carb to this saw? I don't know. But my first attempt was the wrong hole, so we're going to put it in the other hole that's got a little bit of wear and see what happens. Yeah, that looks like we're getting full range of travel on the trigger. So bolting this down, one of the screws holds the choke plate. And there's an extra washer in there that kind of spaces that choke plate out. So when you tighten it down, you got to make sure you're not binding that choke plate. Keep checking it and move the washer if you have to. We got one side. See, it's tight right now. And if I loosen the screw and then wiggle the thing around, there we go. Now it'll work. Now I can crank them down. So we're going to try and start this thing up and see if it runs and see if I can tune it better. And if I can, then that's all I'm going to have for you on the Poulan 2000 top panel chainsaw. It had an upside down metering diaphragm. Thanks for watching. Later. I knew you'd come sniffing around if you heard this thing running.
I thought it was a Mac.
Oh, the one you brought in?
Yeah.